Good Wednesday morning to you. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Marchich, and this is your outlook for February 11th, 2015. And we're going to start off with a mostly sunny skies today. We're going to have increasing clouds tonight. There's going to be ahead of our next system that's up here in the Great Lakes region. It's going to dive down to the southeast. Really don't think this is a big deal. This is the first Clipper system of two. This first one is going to be just a nuisance, if that, in some areas here. As we go a little bit forward in time here, we'll show you this here. This is actually looking at overnight Wednesday night. Some snow showers actually across our northern areas here already. And then as we get into your day on Thursday, here is a look at what we're looking at for Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. Not much going on here. See some scattered snow showers here. Very hit or miss, maybe a coating to an inch in some central and northern areas only, because the temperature here will be below freezing at this point from this line northward. So down south here, Philadelphia, places south and east of there, you might see a few snowflakes falling, but not accumulating on anything. It should be too warm there until you get up a little bit further northwest, and even there, you're only talking about trace to an inch amounts at best. So that's Thursday. Thursday is going to be out of here then. This is a very important system, though, however. I'm going to talk about that here in a second. After I get through the NAM here, just to give the NAM's perspective. Future radar here on Thursday here, and this is looking at Thursday afternoon. And as we go a little bit forward here, you can see some just light snow showers. Very light stuff here. This is not a big deal for Thursday. NAM is not impressed. Most models are not impressed. But here you can see mainly for the eastern areas, northern New Jersey, extreme eastern Pennsylvania here, as we get in through the evening hours here on Thursday, showing a few of those snow showers pop up, and then once it gets offshore, it gains a little steam here. So not a big deal for Thursday. Going a little bit further now, we're going to go into the next threat. Then after this leaves, there's a look at Thursday night here again. You can see these tight isobars here. These isobars packed right on top of one another here would indicate we're going to have windy conditions here. I'll call it just breezy for now, because this low pressure 988 millibars well east of Boston here at this point, or southeast of Boston, and you have high pressure moving behind it. So the pressure rated between the two is creating these winds, and that's what we're going to have here on Friday. But they won't be too terrible, and they will get better as the day wears on here on Friday. And high pressure moves in, it's going to calm down pretty quickly. Here comes our next system. This is getting into this Friday night now. Next system is going to be coming up in the Great Lakes, just like the last one. The difference is that this storm here that came through here on Thursday is now going to go up here, and depending on where this tracks will determine the track of the next one. So as you see here, it starts heading up like this, and it's going to go off the picture here, but it's going to head up here in this direction. That's going to force this other one to come south here, and depending on how far north that first one gets here and what position it gets into, will determine which track this one takes here on Saturday. Here's a look at Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening. You can see it takes a track almost right over eastern Pennsylvania here, and you're going to have temperatures well below freezing across the entire area. Very high ratio snows here you'll be talking about here on Saturday night. We're talking about the upper levels being anywhere between 15 and 18 degrees below zero. So it's very cold in the upper levels, in the mid levels, where the snow is generated, and then all the way down the surface, of course, is very cold. Not a lot of precipitation shown here with this, not a lot at all, but it's one of those situations where you could squeeze out just maybe 2/10 of an inch of snow, or 2/10 of an inch of liquid equivalent, which would normally be 2 inches of snow, would actually be 4 inches of snow in this case, because it's such a dry, fluffy, powdery snow, and those ratios are so high. But we think there's a chance that this could get a little bit more here, and we're going to show you that in this next frame here. Here's the GFS here for the next frame. Not showing much here. Showing you the GFS is continuing to show this inverted trough axis here. Now it has it, earlier today it had it down here across southeastern PA, east central PA, has now shifted over the New York City, Long Island area, southeastern New York, western Connecticut. Now, one of two things need to happen with this low in order for this that can happen with that first system on Thursday. It could actually set up blocking for this next one. You can actually see the GFS has come considerably west from its previous run. I'll show you the previous run here, what it did, and look where the low was in this previous run. Way east here. So it definitely moved considerably west to its new run here. See where it is now? It was here, and now it came back to the west here. I didn't change the timestamp. Timestamp is exactly the same. So the GFS has trended west with this system. If you want this to produce some snow across our area here, eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, you're going to need this to phase quicker, and you're going to need it to explode a little bit closer to the coastline, which will throw back the snow back into much of Pennsylvania, New Jersey. So we're going to be watching for that for this Saturday. If you're talking about that happening with the low pressure exploding a little bit earlier, that does in fact take place. You're talking about more moisture content going to a high ratio snow, and you could be dealing with more snow than what is showing right now. Case in point with that, here's the Canadian for that same time frame. This is Saturday night. Canadian brings this right over PA again, bombs it real close to the coast here. Here's the coastline right here. Bombs are real close to the coastline, 994, okay, and ours actually tries to do a transfer of another system here. Has a too low structure here, but you have one still sitting here at 994. Look at all the precipitation that's sitting over eastern PA and New Jersey. Okay, this is what can happen. And if this is, you're not talking about much here, but this is actually liquid equivalent here. We're not showing snow here. This is liquid equivalent. And on this scale here that we're talking about, it's off the map here, we're only talking about in a 6-hour period of about 3 or 4/10 of an inch of precipitation of liquid equivalent. But if you translate that to snow in these high ratios, they would be, something more like 6 or 8 inches of snow. So this can sneak up on you, get even more snow than you expected. But we'll just go with the lighter amounts for now, and if something changes, we'll adjust fire as we go into the weekend. A lot is predicated on what happens with this system here on Thursday and what it does and how strong it gets will determine exactly what happens with the system on Saturday night. Okay, so we're going to go past this storm. There's going to be one more in the pipeline, and that's going to be an overrunning event with some snow coming in here. Uncertain on track here exactly, but this is going to be the Tuesday, Wednesday time frame of next week. A lot of different solutions with this. One of the latest GFS is now trying to cut it in a little bit further to west, but it does give a nice overrunning event here with light snow or light to moderate snow before any kind of changeover to ice here, but then it goes back to snow as this pulls away. So there's a lot of different solutions with this. European model had mostly snow and is a little further southeast. GFS keeps bouncing around. The Canadian keeps bouncing around. So there's another big chance of a bigger storm Tuesday, Wednesday, and next week that we'll be following as well. So for now, we're going to focus on first on this Thursday system, which again looks to be a very relatively weak system. According to winds from that, and we're looking for a bigger potential from the second one. Could be a little bit more than just a nuisance. We'll have to wait and see. And then this third system, which is the third in the sequence, it looks to have the best potential of 3. Just uncertain about precipitation type and track at this time. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martich. That is your outlook for February 11th, 2015. Have a great Wednesday.